Hi guys, I'm Hale and I'm here with my long distance friends. Hi guys.
Hi.
I just have to say if there's a lag or if I drop, guys, I'm on a different side of the planet. But today we're going to be talking about the lies from the patriarchy, lies that we were taught growing up that have prevented us from living our best lives and really expressing our full self.
Okay, Biril gave a very good point about sexuality. Let's talk about the lies we've heard about how we should behave or how we should act sexually.
I know an area where like we are so much.
Okay. Right?
Yeah, like Nila, like the men expect you to be sexual in relationships. Like, unajua ufai kuwa too sexual kwa sababu like now she says you're a slut.
You're a slut.
All those labels start coming through because you are embracing a sexuality. Because also women are never taught about like receiving pleasure or like enjoying their sexuality in relationships, and like and that that they can. It's always been about the guy and like
he's a guy.
Yeah,
in general we're the ones who are supposed to, because you see, think about it, the number of women faking orgasms is a lot. Like literally you throw a stone at the women faking orgasms, you're definitely going to hit someone. Like in general, like a lot of women fake orgasms. We fake that we're enjoying the sexual experience. And it's because this is the thing, it is centered on men. You get, like, it is not centered on your own pleasure. Like, it is centered on this person. So we are looking at it from that perspective. Because even while learning about sexual liberation, you're still being taught how to please this person, how to do this for this person. Like, it's very few times you'll encounter, like, how to ensure you get maximum pleasure for yourself as well as you're doing this thing. Accompany that with a shame that goes hand in hand with women having to have sex before marriage as compared to men, and
good point.
Yeah.
And all the myths and the lies around virginity and
you know something that I find funny. It's very funny.
It's really funny.
It's very funny. It's very funny how men they're supposed to be very sexual, right? And it's okay for them to be promiscuous. Yeah. But women, it is very, very wrong for you to be promiscuous. You are all these labels, right? But at the same time, it's like, okay, so then who are you having sex with? Who are these people that you are sleeping with? Who is it?
Right?
Because
is it the air?
Is it the air? Is it the men? Because again, you have a problem with people being homosexual. Like, now, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Is it yourself?
That's true.
Probably. But like, I find it very, very curious.
And then the way you're taught about God, the things we were taught, especially in school
about virginity.
My God, those things should not be taught to any human being. First things first, I don't know what you guys were told, but I remember clearly when a teacher would go to the front and then they'd hold two pieces of paper. One is like a white piece of paper. Like, it's just, both of them are nice pieces of paper that have just been cut from a book. And then they crumple one. And then one is not crumpled, and then they open it up. And then they say, would you want this paper or that paper? And then people would point at the paper that wasn't crumpled. And then they're like, you see this paper that's crumpled up? That's you when you have had sex. You're the crumpled piece of paper.
You're probably even 10 or
that's like a room of girls. That's what we told. But when you go into a market, do you want an avocado that has been pressed by a lot of people?
Yeah.
You want one that's like fresh and that's not been like pressed.
Yeah.
That is now like when if you play with boys, you're being also, apparently there's this myth that like if you have big boobs, it's because this is such a big thing. Girls are being mocked at if you have big boobs, it's because boys have them. So they've grown. And so people with big boobs are being like slut shamed. And I'm like, what the nonsense is this?
What is the nonsense? And you are a 13-year-old. You're literally growing up, and then the way your adolescent body is changing is being equated to you being touched. And at the same time, the tone is slut shaming. So like, you have already been sexualized and you don't even know, like, you don't even understand what that is.
Right? I have big boobs, and my boobs came when I was very young. So when they started growing, I was hiding them. I used to walk like this because of the fear.
Afterwards, it was a sweater.
I know. I couldn't. Okay.
Yeah. Also something else, like I hate wearing bras. And when I was younger in like high school, I used to prefer wearing like a vest inside. No, like a vest and then the blouse. And literally a teacher had literally a whole conversation with me about the way I needed to be wearing bras. Because her reasoning was I need to wear bras because the male teachers in school will they'll start looking at me and my chest, and they're going to, and I'm like, Sasa, I'm supposed to, like, I am a like, I'm like, how old? 14, 15. And like, yeah, literally. I'm like 14, 15, and I need to think about not sexualizing myself for my adult 30, 40-year-old teachers to not sexualize me. Like, why is that? Like, I'm just like,
where's the responsibility on you?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for bringing this point, because umenikumbusha. You know this thing, in your own home, you are told when your uncles are coming, or like other adult grown fucking men.
Yeah.
Like they are the adults, they're coming.
Cover
but
yourself.
You can't wear pants or you can't wear tights because you're supposed to cover yourself because a man is coming to your house.
Yeah.
And even leave alone the grown men. Sometimes it's your dad, sometimes it's your brothers or your grown. Yeah, and I'm like, but why is that responsibility on me, the child?
And for you, you're being told you're so young. I remember I was in class 4 this one time, and this shirt I used to wear, I used to really like it. And then one of my uncles was coming, and then someone in my household, I won't mention who, was like, hey, you have to wear something else. Because it's like, you're a girl, how can you go showing off your skin like that? And I'm like, now that I look back, I'm like, I'm in class 4. What is that? What
for context, class 4, you're like 10 years old.
9, 10.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. For a long time, anytime I was home, I'd always wear multiple things. Like if I had something that was sleeveless, I'd have to wear something on top of it because hands sexual. And then like always wearing like a hoodie or a sweater so that you're not like showing too much. Like this whole obsession about making sure like female children are not showing their bodies. They're not like, why the fuck are you not teaching the men to just not sexualize children?
Don't sexualize children.
You know when we were in that place we all used to work at some point, that I will not mention, I once was sent back home on a Saturday because I was wearing casual wear. So I had a V-neck. So the V-neck, it was a V-neck sweater. It was a V on both sides, the front and the back. So now the supervisor saw the back part and then told me to go home and change because I'm going to seduce customers with my back.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, in fact, at that time you're a teller. The customer, you're looking at the customer.
The
mathematics.
With your back.
I was definitely
with my back. I'm going to seduce customers with my back.
Going back to virginity, I was told that your virginity is like kofia. If someone with a bigger head wears it, someone with a smaller head will fill the gap. So that's how your pussy behaves. So don't have sex with anyone until you meet your husband.
So that because of his,
because the heads,
maybe his will be small. And it's already been expanded out here by others with bigger dicks.
Lies.
Why the fuck you lying? Why?
Yeah, Kofia.
What?
I think Anastasia guy.
Yeah, but
lies from the patriarchy.
Especially boys themselves kept saying it. I heard this a lot, like during this program that we were doing, all of us, when guys would be like, yeah, the way men can have sex with multiple people because the dick can just go in and out, but for women, but it stretches, and so like when you keep having sex with multiple people, it's going to like expand. It's not going to feel the same for the next.
No concept of elasticity, but they're okay. These same people will still marry you, and a whole baby will come out of it. A whole baby will come out.
A whole baby.
But that is where they draw the line. Elasticity only works here, but it does not work in any other way. They mess how the lock and key thing. I forgot that thing. It's like a padlock. Like a padlock can only have one key.
Yes.
But can open many doors. Something like that.
That was a huge disservice on everyone's part when it comes to reproductive health and biology.
Also, it's really unfortunate that the way we were taught about this was just you're told to be a virgin, end of story, nothing else. Don't have sex until you get married. Nothing on birth control, condoms, how to protect, like nothing.
How to protect yourself.
Nothing on pleasure on your part.
Oh yeah.
Nothing about that.
Where would
From
you
who?
have pleasure? Why you are?
You came to suffer.
A sin.
The way they taught us, like in your high school, they brought, kwa high school yetu walituletea, me, I've never been so traumatized. It worked actually. They brought us a video. I remember a video of people who have STIs. And then they showed it, like they were zooming in, they're showing this bad images that nobody
should happen to you if you have
no one should ever see. And then they were like, no, this will happen to you if you decide to have sex.
I know, that's very disgusting. At least
like, how can you protect yourself? How can you have safe sex? How can nothing
about that. It's just be a virgin.
I knew if you have sex, this happens. Like in my head, I was like, that's how I'm going to look like.
Birin, I was shown that video in church. In church, they brought a whole screen.
Oh God.
Show us private parts of people with STIs.
Yeah.
Me, I'm telling you, to this day, syphilis, I know you are going to go mad. Me,
but it's true.
I am 100% traumatized. You will go crazy. 100%. It worked.
Wow. Also, like when they made it, I didn't think, I thought all STIs were incurable for a very long time.
Oh, yes.
Because that's how it was taught. Like you get to your body is going to look like that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. Like,
Okay, guys, we were taught to fear sex.
Yeah.
And then, now, still on that topic, think about it. So we are taught to fear sex, but then over time, women have learned to liberate themselves sexually. And it's a beautiful movement coming along, from how we dress to what we do and all those things. So like from the videos we make, in general, women are liberating themselves sexually. You can see like icons like Cardi B and people like Megan Thee Stallion, Rihanna, all these people, Beyonce, like they found ways to showcase female beauty and female joy in different ways. But then the interesting thing that I keep finding is that the patriarchy does not like that. It does not like it when women sexualize themselves. For the longest time, women have been sexualized by men. The thing you keep understanding about patriarchy is that it is the male gaze. If the male gaze is not centered on this, then they hate it. If it is the male gaze being centered on this thing, then they like it. So like, for example, I was thinking about Ty Dolla Sign song, Orna. You know that song for Orna?
Yeah.
The whole song about sex. And it's like, I like that song. It's a pretty cool song and everything. Nobody said a word about Ty Dolla Sign when he was doing, hey, Harley left us. No. Nobody was saying a word about Ty Dolla Sign with that song.
Yes.
But then when Cardi B did WAP with Megan, what happened? It's trending on social media. They're complaining. And why? And if you ask yourself, really, is the decency your problem? Or is it that it's women sexualizing themselves?
Yes.
Like the issue is not the decency part, because think of every hip hop song is not the most decent song. Lyrics from like
most of them are not.
Women have been sexualized for ages. But when women start to sexualize, that is where we draw the line. When consent is involved, when women have, you know what, I enjoy this thing, I like it, that is where it's like, no.
And owning it.
We don't want it anymore.
Exactly. It's all of a sudden
people are saying Cardi B is role model.
Kabisa, I was going to say, by the way, it now becomes an issue of immorality. If you are immoral. And what example are you setting for my daughter?
My daughter. I'm showing your daughter to celebrate her body. love her sexuality, embrace her big butt.
Also, like Akoze said, when people were trying to police her morality, and they were like, "Oh, you are a role model." Like, she made a video and she was like, even my own children, I tell them not to follow me. Why would you tell you to come and follow me?
You know,
like, I'm not your role model.
You know, but then I don't get that thing too. By the way, it's like
it's just another way to police women.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be a good example. Feminism is used, people use it as like a tool to confine women as well, because also you do some things, you're like, oh, I thought you were a feminist. You do this, you're like, oh, I thought, no, when you want to police me is when you can throw it back at me, but when I'm fighting for my rights, you're like, don't want to hear.
It's like that whole thing of being black. You speak for the whole group.
Yeah.
Like let's say if one woman does something, it's like, these feminists, look at them, this is what they do.
Yeah.
It's the same. Like if a black person does something, it's like, this is why I don't support Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Like, look at them.
So there's this guy, I was watching this show, I really like it, it's called The Grapevine. And there's this guy there, I've forgotten his name, he's called Donovan. And he said, you cannot judge a movement by the actors of the movement. Like that is not how you decide what a movement is. If you support it, you support it. If you don't support it, you don't support it. But you cannot single out actors of a movement and say, because I don't like this particular person who happens to be a feminist, then I will not support feminism. Your sexism is showing, honestly. You're just trying, like, you're looking for reasons to stop supporting this thing. You don't really support it. How many Christians are there still following Christianity when there's Christians who are not doing well at doing that Christianity? How many Muslims are still Muslims even though there's some Muslims who are not good at? You understand? You cannot say a movement is bad because of actors of that movement. We cannot go policing. It's not like we have a meeting every Friday and we're like, this is how we act. Now, from like, you understand? Like, you cannot, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they want to use very tool we're using to liberate ourselves to oppress us with it. Like they want us to police ourselves. And feminism for me is about agency. It's about, like us, obviously empowerment and fighting for yourself, but a huge part of it is agency. Being able to do what you want. It should not be an additional thing that strains you. Thing that controls what you do. Like there is no one way to be a feminist. There's no right way to do it. And so it's like men being like, especially when it's coming from a guy telling you you're doing something wrong because it's not it's not the most feminist way. Bullshit. I don't trust a woman at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What was the other point?
Another lie from the patriarchy is that men like more natural women, or women who are not slay queens, quote unquote. What do you guys think?
I'm not like other girls. I don't wear makeup. You don't, or you can't. You don't know how to fill in your brows. You don't know how to put on some lashes. You couldn't do it even if you tried.
Yeah. That one is also rooted in the whole pick-meism mentality, in that like if you don't wear makeup, then you're more acceptable to the male gaze. And so like, choose me because I'm not like those girls that wear makeup. Yeah. You know what I mean? Another thing that reminds me of is like growing up, it was cool to be a tomboy because then you're cool with the boys. You're one of the boys. You're not like those girls. Like you don't have a lot of girlfriends because like girls are dramatic. Women are this, that, and the other. Yeah. But being one of the boys is so much cooler than having a lot of girlfriends or being like what girls are are deemed to act as.
Yeah. And also, if you think about it, also, they would, if in general, even I was watching a movie with my cousin the other day called Miss Congeniality. I don't know if you guys watched that movie a long time ago. So I remember growing up, I was trying to understand where I got this concept of like, if I'm a smart person, if I'm intellectual, then I should not look nice. It was just like this thing that was just there, that like women who like take care of their bodies or who go out of their way to apply makeup are bimbos and they're stupid. And then other women who are now intellectual are the ones who are not supposed to dress like a certain way and all that stuff. And I feel like it's something that, like, for the longest time I thought that in order for me to be taken seriously or to be seen as like a smart person, like especially in my career in programming, you're supposed to wear hoodies and t-shirts that you got from events and just pretend you genuinely don't care about your looks, because that's how smart people should look like. I'm not saying that all women are supposed to dress up and do stuff like that, but I felt like it was shamed to be a woman that dresses up or a woman that looks good or like looks fine or takes care of herself, because for that it's like it means you're stupid. And for me,
Yes, a teacher once told me that if you're smart and working hard, you don't have time to look good and apply makeup.
Funny.
Told us,
But then
like,
these teachers sometimes
very questionable things.
Why you always lying?
Yeah, I think that comes back to agency, which is like the whole thing. Like people, we should be free to do whatever we want.
Choose not to
wear makeup, choose not to wear makeup. If I choose to dress up, to be in sweatpants and a hoodie, like
that's fine.
like I should not feel like I am supposed to be a certain way to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be up to me entirely. And I can switch it up. Today I can go to work. Okay, not to work, but today. Today I can look like a hobo, and then tomorrow I can look like I'm going to a gala. Whatever I want.
Right? It's up to you.
Exactly.
Speaking of like intellectuality, the way we were also taught that boys are smarter in math and science, and women are good at English and Kiswahili, and
we are better
at languages.
We're better at languages.
Oh my God! Stop fucking lying.
Which is so funny because me, English was just not my friends.
Same.
English was my lowest grade.
They were not mine.
Okay, to be fair, me ilikuwa zangu, but I don't think it was because I'm a woman.
Right?
Yeah, but that's exactly that's exactly the point. It's not because you are a specific gender that you're good at whatever subjects.
Exactly.
I loved physics and math and chemistry. And really were just like not mine. Complete.
Yeah, and those things get to you because like when I was much younger, I never thought about it, and then when I got to high school, like they repeated that thing, but I started to believe it. I'm not like, I started to believe like maybe, and then every time I'd find a challenge in math or find a challenge in physics, in my head I'd think, is it because of that woman thing I was told? Like maybe it's because of that. Like you don't apply yourself or exert yourself further than you would have because you accept something and you're like, but I am this thing. I've been told I am this thing, and therefore this is my thing. But then if you don't have that thing in your head where it's like, for example, in languages, if you'd fail, you'd know it's because you're just failing at this thing, and you'd apply yourself more, exert yourself more, and you didn't try and blame your gender. The patriarchy, they've worked on us a number, like a number,
big one.
Guns blazing the whole time. We could never cover it in 20 videos, but yeah.
Honestly, this is going to
never be enough.
This is going to be ongoing and going.
That's it from us today, guys. Thank you for watching up until this point. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're sorry Hale had to drop off, but it went well, right?
She'll be there next time.
She'll be there next time. Okay, that's it from us. Tell us in the comment section that about the lies you've heard from the patriarchy, the lies you were told growing up. Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.